Hello and welcome to our webinar, Exhibit Tips for the 2019 Site Solutions Summit. Please take a moment to look at the chat area in the lower right corner of your screen. You will see a drop-down menu with options next to the word Send To. If you have any technical problems today, you can send a chat message to Host. If you have questions for our presenter, chat to Presenter. And if you have questions or comments to share with the entire audience, send a chat to all participants. A recording of this webcast will be available later today, and we will send all registrants an email tomorrow with the link. Today's presenter is Sean Soth, Vice President of Global Business Partnerships for the Society of Clinical Research Sites. Sean has more than 20 years of experience in clinical business development and a background in association management. He works to connect sponsors, CROs, and solution providers within the SCRS community. And now I will turn today's presentation over to Sean to get started. Sean.
Thanks so much, Carolyn. I appreciate it. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on short notice, I might add. We're excited to have you. I think we had the highest registrants we've ever had for a exhibitor webcast. The Summit and SCRS are growing, and we are very thankful to have you join us today and, of course, next week. Let's get started. The 2019 Global Site Solutions Summit ends a banner year for SCRS. We've had 4 global meetings this year, a number of symposia, membership growth, a new president, and a number of other published articles, issues, speaking circuits, and the like. And this will culminate in sort of our Super Bowl, if you will, of 2019 at the Global Site Solutions Summit. We're in a brand new venue, the first of 3 years at the Diplomat Beach Resort in Hollywood, Florida. If you have not been to this location, you'll be pleased to know that it, in true Summit fashion, links right to the beach and is going to be beautiful. It's also a little bit more conducive to a conference than where we've been before. Everything is sort of centrally located between the first and second floor of the facility, and we'll talk about that briefly in just a moment. Who are you going to meet at the summit? You may know either myself, Marcus, or Brittany. All of us are feverishly trying to answer any questions that you might have ahead of the meeting as best we can. If you don't know, I manage the business partnerships team at SCRS globally, and my colleagues, Marcus, who manages many of the business partnerships and exhibit registrations, as well as agreements for any of our summits, will be present in Hollywood. And, of course, Brittany, who helps us coordinate everything on the back end and does a great job. You'll be able to meet any of us at the registration desk, and, of course, either ourselves or our team are there to help. Hey, there's a few familiar and a couple of new faces that you'll get to know at this year's Site Solutions Summit. For those of you who aren't aware, Casey Orvin joined us as president back in February at our Oncology Site Solutions Summit. Casey, like myself, I think we both started around the same time, actually. He's been working in clinical research for 20-plus years from the site side, and we're thrilled he's joined us as president, and you'll get a chance to meet and network with Casey, Allison, Jimmy, Dan, Jessica, or Mike at the conference, along with a couple of other of our colleagues as well. If you have a question, the reason I show this slide, really it's just to kind of give you an idea of, hey, maybe you have an interest in writing an article. That would be Jessica. Maybe you've curious about how the global symposia work, or even potentially speaking or being a panelist at an upcoming Site Solutions Summit. That would be Dan. And, of course, Jimmy and Mike manages most of our projects and programs, and Allison oversees all of our summits. So all of us are looking forward to seeing you next week in Hollywood. Okay. Make the most of your summit. If you haven't been to a Site Solutions Summit before, let me share that it is different than any meeting, at least that I've attended, in the clinical research market and many meetings that I've been to, period. Mostly because the way that our team likes to describe the summit is starting on Friday, a little over 1,000 people will come together for that first plenary session at 4 p.m. and we experience the weekend together. It's a collaboration. You're going to hear candid conversation. You're going to hear challenges from all constituent groups, sites, of course, but also CROs, sponsors, and patients as well. This is an opportunity to really collaborate with the clinical research enterprise. And the way that it's different is we really work to include exhibitors as a core stakeholder in the meeting. To us, your business partners, your subject matter experts, and you have incredible access not only to the customers that you reach now and want to reach in the future, but you have something to add value to our sessions, our networking, and certainly the expo hall. Everything that we've done in terms of starting the conference at 4 p.m. on Friday all the way to the end of the meeting on Sunday is included for you and your exhibit staff. Anyone that's registered can experience any part of the Site Solutions Summit, starting with the opening keynote at 4 p.m. on Friday and ending with the final plenary right before lunchtime on Sunday. That is a little different. A lot of times when I attend shows, I am relegated to the expo hall or to different networking. Our exhibitors are a critical part of the meeting from start to finish. And all of many of the networking events we do are completely included, including all the meals from that Friday up until Sunday morning. Those are included in your registration as well. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that you are aware of that. It's resort attire. I feel a little bit more comfortable when I'm at a booth with business casual. But you might see the SCRS team wearing the famous colorful outfits that we always seem to get in the mail. Sometimes they fit, sometimes they don't, but we always have a lot of fun wearing them. And you'll be able to identify the SCRS staff pretty clearly on site if you need our help. The thing that I'll make a recommendation to you with as you prepare your team: have fun. This is a meeting where everyone's expertise is valued from start to finish, and we want you to meet and enjoy the sessions, meet folks along the way. All of our networking breaks, our receptions, all of those are held inside of the expo hall to drive traffic there. If you're a Summit alumni, you'll know that those are packed. But what you might not know this year is we have a huge amount of new exhibitors that are going to be joining for the first time in Hollywood. In fact, a record number of sponsors and CROs that will be exhibiting on the floor. So if your ideal customer is a site, we've got you covered. There's plenty of sites attending. If your ideal customer is a sponsor or a CRO, I'm going to recommend that not only will you meet them in the sessions and, of course, in the expo hall, go to their booth. This is a wonderful opportunity to network and help us grow our community. Hey, so what's included with our booth? So, well, you don't really need carpet. It is a carpeted venue. However, many people do order carpet to improve just the visual appeal of their booth. That is absolutely your prerogative. You could bring carpet, but it does come with a table, 2 chairs, and the pipe and drape, and of course, listing on the website, listing in our app. And one thing that I'll mention, a lot of times I'll get on site and folks will say, hey, can we change out this 6-foot table to what's called a pub table or a high boy? And you could, but I recommend you checking with Advantage Expo, who is our general exhibit contractor for this particular event. They're great to work with. I've already prepped them to have extra tables and supplies on hand for anybody that might need to order on site. But now's a good time just to maybe talk to your team about what they prefer and see if you can reach out to Advantage. All that information is found on the website, sitesolutionssummit.com. You can easily find it there. There's a full page of exhibitor logistics, including contacts for Advantage. What's not included is internet, shipping, power, just as any other. We pay for the same things, everybody. We're all on the same page. We do have a Wi-Fi sponsor. Thank you, Virtrial, for once again helping us with the Wi-Fi this year. But that is not going to be strong enough if you're doing individual demos in your booth. I would recommend you contact the hotel. The AV provider, again, is at the logistics page of the SiteSolutionSummit.com website, and ask them for a direct internet hookup or a personal wireless code for the meeting space. Okay, floor plan. If you haven't checked out the floor plan, we are fortunate enough to be once again sold out for this year with a rather large waiting list. That's important to share because we do cap the exhibits so that there's a balance between exhibitors and the attendees. And this year we have an exceptional hall. It's actually been renovated just before our meeting. You can see a picture of it there. And believe it or not, those windows do overlook the ocean. So hopefully we're one of the only exhibit halls you might see over the course of the year that overlooks the ocean, and I hope you will enjoy it as much as we have so far. Just in terms of helping your team, one thing that I find helpful for a team approach is obviously knowing your booth number. You can find this by simply going again to SiteSolutionSummit.com, clicking on the Exhibitor tab, and you'll see the floor plan there. It will drop down. You can search by exhibit number. You could search by alphabet or even category of business. And I recommend getting a chance before we go to the summit to know your neighbors. See who's around you, see who's next to you, and have an opportunity, if you know those folks, reach out and just let them know that you'll be at the summit. It may be an opportunity to share notes. It may be an opportunity to share connections. Either way, you can find this on the SiteSolutionSummit.com website. Hey, who else is exhibiting? I think I already mentioned that we have a large amount of new sponsors. And when I say sponsors, I do mean pharmaceutical sponsors, pharmaceutical companies coming into the fold at this year's meeting. We always have a wonderful array of service providers, whether that's a direct service to sites, sponsors, CROs, or patients, or perhaps it's technology. We do have a handful of sites and site networks exhibiting, and of course service providers across the board. You could see every single exhibitor that's participating, get to know a little bit more about what they do. I recommend it, again, on the website. Who's attending? We are going to have our largest Site Solutions Summit ever. We are fortunate to grow slightly each year, and 2019 is no exception. This is a breakdown of job titles, but what it doesn't share is the breakdown of total attendance. Nearly 60% of our attendance will be, in fact, sites, and that is hospital, private, and network sites. On the flip side, we have roughly 28% sponsors and CROs attending this year, and the rest I would label as potentially other. They could be IRBs or solution providers that aren't exhibiting. But that's fairly standard for our audience. The numbers have shifted a little bit. We have more sponsors than we have had in the past, but we also have had more attendees than we have had in the past. And as a result, those percentages are relatively the same from last year or previous years. One thing to share, particularly if you're new to the summit, it is a common misperception that the Society for Clinical Research sites is only sites. Members are only sites, but attendees at our meetings are really the entire enterprise. We don't have a whole lot of patients that attend, but we do have patients that speak. But you will meet sponsors, you will meet CROs, and you will meet sites, and certainly other solution providers at this meeting for certain. And the reason is just that if you think of it, you need sites to conduct research, and whether your solution or service is directly focused on those sites or the sponsors and CROs that work with those sites, just like SCRS shares, site success impacts everyone in research. And that is really what we try to amplify at the summit, this summit and all summits throughout the year. It's helpful for your team to know this makeup. A lot of times I'll speak with someone who maybe they don't work with sites. Well, we have probably one of the best most senior represented pharma and CRO audiences I've certainly been involved with, and I attend almost every show in the market, at least every other year. And I think that part of that, again, is just they want to understand how they can help the site community, and it's been an awesome transformation over the last few years to understand how successful sites can impact their research operations. So you'll be able to meet folks from all those constituent groups next week. Okay, last year was the first year we provided an app, the Summit mobile app. It's available for download now on Google as well as iOS or Apple. This year, the login, if you have to be registered for the Site Solutions Summit. I want to share that there are a couple of exhibitors. I just want to make you aware. You may register for the summit as an exhibitor, but then you have to register your staff as attendees. Everyone has a personal code to do that. But to download the mobile app after and access it, it's simply the address that you use to register as an attendee, and then your last name. And it is closed for just summit attendees. We do that on quite on purpose. Inside the app, you'll be able to search and select sessions. You'll be able to search and see the maps of the other expo and conference areas. But most importantly, you'll be able to connect with attendees on the app should they want to be discovered. These are all functions that you'll see in the app when you download it. It's actually a great tool. We had a wonderful adoption rate, I guess you would call it, for the solution providers on the line last year, and this year we hope to continue that. Thank you, Cognizant, for once again helping us get the app together and out to our audience. So what do you need to know before you get to the summit? And really what you need to know for any meeting. I suggest a very quick 30-minute powwow between now and next Friday, just to simply talk with your on-site team about some of the things we've shared just now. That once Friday starts, they have access to everything. I had a question already about workshops. Workshops are not included with your exhibitor registration, but you can absolutely register for any of the workshops should you choose, either now, as some of them are actually completely filled up, or on site. I would recommend, if you have an interest in those workshops, again, go to sitesolutionsummit.com and check them out. But have this 30-minute pre-summit powwow just to help them understand what they have access to and who our audience is. If they've never been to a summit, it is really important to let them know that our focus is on site success, but we also reach, like I said, the CROs, sponsors, and other service providers in the industry. They should be able to have talking points for each of those groups. It'll help their conversations day to day. Staff need to knows. The thing that I would share that is a little different again is that they have access to all of the networking events. Those are the on Friday night, the first kickoff reception is held inside the exhibit hall. Thank you, Real Time and the team there. They help us with that, and that's really just to kind of get people going. It'll be packed in the room, and I think that you'll enjoy it. All the food and the drinks, everything there is included. And after that, the next day we have breakfast, networking breaks, lunch, evening reception, the Eagle Awards Gala, and the Site Appreciation Reception. It is a very, very full day, and guess what? You're invited to all of it. It's a wonderful opportunity to network with attendees. And if you've never been to the summit, you might be thinking, man, I go to all these conferences. One gala is the same as the next. That is not the case at the Site Solutions Summit. It's a lot of fun. In fact, it's a blast. It's a wonderful way to get a chance to talk with folks outside of the expo or session rooms. And we have some wonderful sponsors this year from Blue Cloud, Clinciers, Hylant, Viva, Trifecta, StudyKick, all helping us make that day special. And then on Sunday, there's a short breakfast as well in the expo hall. Again, just trying to get traffic through to you as many times as we can over the weekend. For your team, it's important just to set some objectives beyond the expo hall. What do your customers need to know about you attending the summit, and what are your team's content objectives? If are there sessions that your subject matter expertise would lend itself to or be informed by? Those are excellent times to just go on the sitesolutionsummit.com website or use the app to browse the program and set some goals for sessions you want to attend. I can't tell you how often I show up at a conference and, no one's planned what they're going to attend that day. Now, this is a good opportunity to do that in advance. It saves a lot of time and energy. And one last thing is to set your post-show recap date now. Just say, hey, can we all talk in a week? Let's talk about that Site Solutions Summit and what it meant for us and our business. How can you put it out into the customers you're serving now? What did you learn? Were there highlights? We've had some wonderful examples of blogs over the years or posts or even interviews post-summit around what folks learned at this meeting or ideas they had to share. Marketing. For those of you who have missed it, we have shared the pre-show mailing list. Let me be clear on something here, because the mailing list is something that is very challenging in our industry. There are list pirates. I keep getting one in particular that claims that they will share the 4,500 attendees we have coming to this year's meeting. That's a wonderful objective eventually perhaps to hit 4,500 attendees. We do not have 4,500 attendees, everyone. We do not broker with a third-party list service in any way. These folks they hit our meeting, they hit every meeting that we attend, they offer the moon. We do not work with any of them. I don't know what names they have or they're trying to share, but they're not SCRS sanctioned or endorsed in any way. We do share with our exhibitors a pre-show mailing list that contains the mailing address and the title and organization of our attendees. That way you have an idea of some of the folks that are coming. We do it twice, in fact. We've sent the list out twice, and we have had a lot of late registrants, and we will send that list out again the week after the summit, just to make sure you have access to that. It does not include email. It will never include email, and I will share that one way to, and I get why that's important, everyone. I do shows too. In terms of the email opportunities, it really will come down to the folks you meet on site as well as whether or not you connect on the app. We're trying to provide tools that allow for opt-in options the right way between everyone at the meetings, and this is the way we do it. I have a number of pieces of feedback on ways other shows have done it. This seems to work for our audience and our constituents, and I feel like it's something that we can continue to grow. But I just want you guys to be aware that there is these folks out there that are looking to try to sell you something. This goes for show hotel rooms too. We do not broker hotel rooms with anyone. There's no one that we've contracted to sell hotel rooms or, my goodness, travel space. I had one exhibitor share that a company actually called and used my name on their message, which was unbelievable. There are just we're as transparent as we can be, everyone. It's the website, the hotel, and our attendee list. Those are the things that we provide, and we don't outsource those. Just be aware that they're out there, and they're if you haven't gotten a solicitation, I'm sure you will. Just be informed about what in reality these folks are. So get social. We starting to see a lot of great posts out in the market. Our hashtag is just SCRS19. Help us spread the word. If you have received any of the communications from Brittany, there are exhibit badges just letting folks know that you're coming to the summit. You can attach that to your post. You could attach that to your signature line. And now is a great opportunity to really let your audiences know that you're coming to the Site Solutions Summit. Hey, what to expect? Okay, we are in a new facility. I've already shared. It's beautiful. It's on the beach, and it's much more conferencey. So our setup time is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. next Friday, October 11th. You see it, this very tiny little drawing up here at the top. We are on the second floor. The expo hall is on the second floor of the convention center. My team will be, you'll basically walk across this walkway at the south side of this diagram, or come up the escalator here near the red star to find the second floor. And we will be right here at the registration area working to help you guys get your badges, get set up. One thing that the team at the Reg Desk does not handle is exhibitor logistics, but we have a great team from Advantage that does. And they will be right outside, or inside the expo hall rather, helping you with questions that you might have about shipment or other details, like power, Wi-Fi, those types of things. If you have a shipping issue and you worked with Advantage to do the pre-ship, they'll help you with that. If you ship directly to the hotel, the FedEx office there who manages the shipment, that's who you would want to see prior to your arrival into the expo area. I've kind of gone over the exhibitor schedule just briefly. As you can see, we have what we like to call a lot of unopposed time, meaning it is strictly expo time during these bronze-colored times over the course of the 3 days that we have. All of everything you see here, we call it the exhibitor schedule, but it's really just a cheat sheet for you. You can attend anything that you want, starting, like I said, this Friday at 4 o'clock. But some of the things that we've highlighted here are what most of our exhibitors like to attend start to finish. Types of sessions. Obviously, we have plenaries in the Great Hall just above the expo area, but our breakouts are a mix. They are learning labs, site matters, and site solving. We do this to try to crowd solve issues in the marketplace. People love this format. We encourage your teams to attend. If someone has asked me, hey, should we staff the expo? I'd leave the expo hall open all day. We used to close it during breakouts, but we had so many people that wanted to get in and talk to exhibitors. We were sort of forced out of that schedule. And now we leave it open the entire day, starting Saturday at breakfast. That's the busy day. And, you could staff your booth during the expo-only times, go to a session, and then come back to your booth. I just want to let you know that, yes, if you have more than one person attending the summit, and I hope most of you do, someone should perhaps stick behind. And if it's slow, use your best judgment to attend other sessions that may be going on at that exact time. One of our favorite events of the year, I've mentioned the Eagle Award Gala and Awards Dinner. Trifecta, Dave, Rick, and the team there do a great job in helping us support the Eagle Award. And if you don't know, the SCRS community votes on the sponsor and CRO who best exemplifies great site relationships. There are a number of criteria that go into it, but this year we have 5 finalists in each category. This year, how the awards dinner will be different. There will be the SPRE award will be presented during the awards dinner, as will a brand new award that we're really excited to share with the community right before the Eagle Award process. This is it's going to be a great event. It's a lot of fun. The food is always exceptional. It's not your standard fare. It's usually it's usually 5-star in my regard, and I think we have a great time at this event. And following it, Syneos Health supports us with the site appreciation reception. Again, everyone is invited to that, and it's a great opportunity to let loose after a long day of sessions. Post-show game plan. So I mentioned earlier, please take a moment to schedule some follow-up time for your team after the summit is over. Share notes and share that with your clients. Share what you learn with your clients. Agree now to a follow-up agenda. I was sick at a recent conference. For those of you who maybe saw me at the D Farm, I was ill, unfortunately, during that meeting, and it really took me out of my game for the next week and a half. And as a result, I didn't follow up typically like I normally would. The date, though, is the most important thing. Just get it on the calendar with your team so that you've said, okay, by this date we want to make sure we followed up with everyone. I can't tell you how important that is, and when it's disrupted on my end, I feel it. So it's important to go ahead and make time for that now. It'll help later. If you are, many people are already signed up for 2020. Believe it or not, I'll just share this. We are booking folks now for the 2020 Global Site Solutions Summit, and of course, any of our global meetings. We'll have 5 meetings next year, starting with the Global Oncology meeting in Austin, our European meeting in Lisbon, a new SCRS West Research on the Edge meeting, a little different format, not exactly a summit format, more directed at innovation and disruptive thinking relative to site focus, really, and patient focus at the SCRS West Conference this year. More on that as we get closer to the meeting. That'll be in late spring and late April, and right now it's looking like Las Vegas, everyone. Then we'll go to the what used to be the Asia Pacific meeting is now the Australia-New Zealand Global Sites Australia-New Zealand Site Solutions Summit in Melbourne, and of course we're right back in Hollywood, Florida for the global meeting. Why should you book now? I'll tell you why. We have an incredibly long waiting list for this year's meeting. We like to make sure that we give everyone who's a Summit alumnus from an exhibitor standpoint the opportunity to reserve your space. We do offer a discount. That discount is good from right now until Sunday, till next Sunday, the 13th. You're able to save money. If you need a payment plan or need to defer payment, you can do that. And we also have a cancellation period all the way till December 1st. You can cancel in full. So there's no harm in reserving your booth now and deciding later what you'd like to do. We have roughly 80% each year do that, in fact, and we're trying to help people do it earlier so that you don't have to worry about it on site. If this is something that interests you, please reach out to Marcus Malik or myself, and we'll be happy to schedule some time to help you. We cannot wait for next week. It feels like a marathon since last year, and we've learned so much. We have so many new faces and so many familiar ones as well to help us next week. I think you'll love the new venue. So far, they've been great to work with, and we hope to make this your best or one of your best meetings of the year. Right now, I'll answer a couple of quick questions. I have gone over the time, so I want to appreciate, I just mentioned that how much we appreciate your investment with us. We know how much work it is to get to a conference, and we want to make it as easy as possible on your teams next week on site at the Site Solutions Summit. To answer your question, which ballroom is the expo hall? That would be the Grand Ballroom. My goodness. On the second floor of the convention center. We are right next to the registration area. We're making it as easy as we can for exhibitors to find us and attend to their booth. I don't see any other questions here, but I do want to share that if you have any, please reach out to Brittany, Marcus, or myself, and we'll be happy to help you. Thanks so much. Safe travels, everyone, next week, and have a great show.
Great. Thank you so much, Sean. Great information. This concludes today's webcast. Thank everyone for attending, and we will send everyone an email tomorrow with a link for this webinar so you can review all the information that Sean provided. Thanks again, and we'll talk to everyone soon.